Everybody, good afternoon. So, due to the Chinese New Year, also the COVID-19, so we didn't have the Dharma class at DBC for more than 3 months. So I decided to have a online Dharma class, particularly Lamrim. The first, I will start the online Dharma class based on the Lamrim written by Lama Tsong-kha-pa. And this day, all over the world, and also particularly in Singapore, so we are facing the COVID-19 problems. Therefore, everybody are very worried, very panic due to the COVID. Also, so many people pass away due to the COVID-19. Therefore, everybody feel very scared. So, personally, I think this is kind of very the new kind of flu, new kind of virus. So we don't need to worry too much. Everybody try to be hygiene, always very careful with what you are eating and drinking. Then normally you always try to understand the reality, the truth. As an ordinary person, so we cannot do much how to stop, how to eliminate the sickness. So we are very simple person. We don't have we don't have economic power to spend a lot of money to stop the virus. Also, we are not, a politician who has a power to change things. Therefore, everybody should not be panic. Try to understand the reality. So every day that you try to be very hygiene. So if you have the Dharma knowledge, if you learn the Dharma in the past, no matter which center, which temple, which tradition you follow, so this is the right and important time to use the Dharma knowledge to reduce the fear and scary about the sickness. Apply the Dharma your daily life to overcome all the confusion, all the sense of scary, sense of worry. And this moment, if you failed to apply the Dharma, this means you are not serious, Dharma practitioner. Also, you don't have the right understanding of Dharma. This moment, based on applying the Dharma knowledge, if you follow, like other religion, like a Christian, Islam, or Jewish, so also this is the right time to apply the messages from the God, the messages from the Allah, the messages from the, in the previous master and teacher. So at the beginning, I will really request all of you to apply, the Dharma, the knowledge of the religion. Then every day, so you do, proper meditation to reduce the worries, scary. And also, particularly if you follow Buddhism, if you follow like a Mahayana or Theravada tradition. So this is very important to have compassion towards all sentient beings, particularly the family, the individual who affected the COVID-19. So please, everybody, do Dharma practice your daily life. For the next today and next study, for the 2 classes, I will mainly explain the very basic practice of Dharma. Particularly, I will talk about between differences, different practice between Theravada and Mahayana. So after 2 classes, that you will have the basic understanding of Dharma, the basic understanding of differences between Theravada and Mahayana practice. Then I will start the Lamrim book number 2. So during the teaching, if you feel tired, you can move around with your laptop, your phone, or you can, if you feel tired, you can move around, drink tea and coffee, feel free. So this is the Dharma class. It's very simple class. It's not that serious kind of Dharma class to have to be in the proper position. So everybody feel free. At the end, so the class, I think, 1.5 hours, 3 to 4:30. So at the end, so we will have, timing for question and answer. Everybody, please feel free to ask any question. I really welcome all of you to ask any question. Feel free. The question is very important or not important is not the matter. Everybody will ask the question in order to overcome your confusion. So right now I'm, speaking from Tibetan Buddhist Center in Singapore. So Tibetan Buddhist Center is open for everybody. So this is very non-sectarian Buddhist center. We just follow the Buddha teaching. We are not particularly, follow, like a particular tradition. So right now I'm a Geshe Yonten. I follow Lama Tsong-kha-pa's tradition, the Gelugpa tradition, but I teach, the general, Buddhism. So Tibetan Buddhist Center is not, Gelugpa Center, neither Nyingma Kagyu Sagya is a very non-sectarian Buddhist center. But I will use the Lamrim in order to introduce the Dharma, particularly in order to introduce the Mahayana practice. It doesn't mean the teaching is become sectarian. So in the group, I can see some of is very new face for me. Also, I think some of is very beginner for attending the Dharma class. So I will give you very simple, I give you, very simple way. I will simply introduce you Dharma. Therefore, so before we start our class, everybody, be quiet and do the few minutes for silent meditation. Okay, next, so we will do very short recitation, the page number 4. First, Refuge and bodhichitta. Then page number 5 is particularly about bodhichitta. The first sentence we recite 3 times. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Here, everybody to visualize all Buddhas and Buddha Shakyamuni. And remember all the teaching taught by Buddha. And visualize all the Sanghas and Bodhisattvas. So please take refuge to them until we become a Buddha. Simply, you just wish to become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to become a Buddha, we need to practice Dharma. We need a Sangha who unmistakably introduce the Dharma. Also, we need to rely on the Buddha as our teacher. Therefore, take refuge into Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So, in order to become a Buddha, in order to achieve the fully enlightened states, we need to practice the wisdom which is realize emptiness, the wisdom. Also, we need to practice the methods which is bodhicitta, and the wisdom which realize emptiness and bodhicittas are the 2 wings in order to fly far away. So 2 wings are very important. If you have only 1 wing, you cannot fly very much. Therefore, we need to practice the wisdom and bodhicitta. The next, we need to generate, practice bodhicitta. In order to practice bodhicitta, first visualize all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the sky, in front of you. The Buddha Shakyamuni include all the Buddhas. Manjushri, all of the Shora, as well as all the Buddha Sattva. Next, the verses to generate bodhicitta. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, engineer the manifold awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, enjoy the manifold awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge, Drepung. I confess the negativity individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hope into the enlightened state. So in front of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, everybody cultivate the bodhichitta for becoming Buddha, to benefit all sentient beings. So this is the chanting for our beginning Dharma class. So we have some people are very beginner, very new about Buddhism, very new about the Mahayana tradition. Generally, all sentient beings has a physical body and mind. In order to have a healthy body, we need to eat healthy food. If you eat a lot of unhealthy food, so definitely our physical body must be very unhealthy. If you always eat healthy food, do the proper exercise, yoga, then definitely our physical body must be very healthy. We can have a healthy body. So many people on the planet, many people all over the world, whether you are a believer or whether you are not believer, still everybody very conscious about healthy body. Always try to eat healthy food, do different kinds of exercise. But many people don't try to have healthy mind. If your mind is not healthy, very unhealthy, then even though you have a healthy body, you cannot be very happy. Therefore, we need healthy mind. Our mind must be very healthy. In order to have a healthy mind, we need to practice, the Dharma. We need to have a lot of positive minds. If we have a lot of positive minds, then our mind must be very healthy. When you have a healthy body and healthy mind, you can be happy anywhere you can stay. Doesn't matter, you don't have a lot of food and clothes and money, still you feel you are very happy because you have a healthy body, also you have a healthy mind. The healthy mind cannot be healthy based on eating different kinds of food. It's very important to practice, to do meditation, to generate a lot of positive mental attitude. When we talk about minds, we have three kinds of minds: the positive minds, negative minds, the neutral one. In our life, so we face a lot of the emotional and mental problems because we have a lot of negative minds. Some of our friends, you can see he or she is always very happy. He or she is not the rich person, but he or she is very happy person because he or she has a healthy mind. because he or she has a lot of positive mental altitude. Therefore, in our life, it is so important to have a healthy mind. The healthy mind we can build only applying, the religion, applying the Dharma. So if you follow, let's say, Christianity, also you just practice all the teaching, all the message, taught by the Jesus Christ. If you follow the Hindu tradition, also you can practice the Hinduism in your daily life. If you follow the Islamic, then you can practice the Islamic, practice your daily life. Then you can have a healthy mind. Particularly in this group, so most of you follow Buddhism, you follow the teaching of Buddha Shakyamuni. Therefore, in your daily life, so we need to practice Dharma in order to have a healthy mind. Many of our Dharma brothers and sisters, they always consider, they believe themselves, I'm Buddhist, which is very good. Also, they always think, I follow the Buddha Shakyamuni teaching, but their mind is very unhealthy. They don't have a healthy mind. The mind is very unhealthy because you just follow the Buddha teaching, but you are not seriously practice the Buddha Dharma. So when we talk about, practice Dharma, so people have a lot of, different idea, different kind of concept, how we should practice Dharma. The person who are very interested in Dharma, very interested in like Buddhism, then many people, the second steps, the many people always, focus on recitation, chanting, making offering, mandal offering. Those are very good, but these are not the real, Dharma practice. Yes, you can do recitation, you can do chanting, you can make offering, you can do prostration, you make a mandal offering, you do the Vajrasattva practices. Those are the not main, important practice. So if you really consider yourself, I am Buddhist, then first you need to study Buddhism. You need to study the teaching taught by Buddha Shakyamuni. Not only just study, you need to study, you must have the right, the proper understanding of Dharma. Once you have understanding, then second, you must apply the Dharma in your daily basis. For example, this day, many people are very scared, very worried about the COVID-19. Also me, I can see, the reality all over the world. Everybody is very panicked. For my personally, I try to understand the truth, the reality, accept the truth and reality, should not be scared. In order to free from the scary, in order to overcome the scary and worry, I apply the Buddha Dharma, which is all conditioned phenomena are impermanent. The things arise from causes condition is definitely, one day it's going to be, no more. It's not going to be disappeared. So apply the Buddha Dharma, try to free, try to overcome from the sense of scare and worry. Therefore, here I'm mainly saying, if you follow religion, you must have a proper understanding of your religion. No matter which religion you follow. If you follow Buddhism, then definitely you must have the right understanding of the Buddha teaching. When you have the right understanding, you must apply the Buddha teaching every day, every moment. Once you practice the Buddha teaching every day, every moment, definitely within 1 year, you can feel you are a more happy person, you have a less worry, you have a more good heart, you become very compassionate. So at the beginning, I request everybody who follow Buddhism, who follow the Buddha Shakyamuni teaching, please study. Study is very important. Without study, you cannot have the right understanding. Once you know the Dharma, then you must practice, you must apply your daily life. So this means number one, we must study, we must practice. So when we should practice Dharma, how long we should practice Dharma? My answer, when we should practice Dharma, the answer is we must practice Dharma every day, every moment. When you woke up, you must rejoice. You appreciate yourself. This morning, I'm so lucky to able to wake up. Since I woke up until I sleeping, I must practice. I must use my energy, my timing for benefit all sentient beings. Then, while you are taking shower, also you can do the Dharma practice. While you taking shower, you just visualize all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They are above on your bathroom. While you are taking shower, you just imagine you are receiving a lot of blessing, a lot of positive energy from all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Eliminate, the negative karma by accumulate by body, speech, and minds. Also, you are taking shower, you can apply as a Dharma practice. And also, then everybody take breakfast. So when we eat breakfast, also we must visualize all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas make offer the breakfast and the drink. So when we make offering, we must remember all sentient beings, particularly the people who produce all the vegetable like milk, bread, whatever you are having. Also pray for them. So when you go to your office, when you go to your workplace, when you go walk around, you can see many different people, many different kinds of people, young, old, rich, poor. Whoever meets you, you just have a sense of positive mental altitude. Pray for them to be happy. Pray for them free from sufferings. Also this day, many our friends, many people work at home. And also I got a lot of kind of not complaint. Many people say, "Oh, I cannot go office. I have to work at home." People feel very unhappy. Look at before everybody say, "I'm very busy every day. I need to go to office to work." You have a complaint, cannot stay at home. Now you are staying home. Now you are not happy to stay home. So this is the really good opportunity to stay home, do your daily work, then do the Dharma practice, do Dharma study, spend time with your family, spend your time with your brother and sister, use your home as a home, not as a like a backpacker hotel. Usually we go walk in the morning and come back and sleep in the morning, take a shower, we go out. So until now, our house is look like more like a backpacker hotel. Since the COVID-19, now the house become really is house. All family live together, cook together, eat together, try to understand more each other. It's a good opportunity to stay home, try to understand each other more precisely and do your daily walk, also do Dharma study and practice. So number 2, the question asks when we should practice Dharma. My answer is here, you practice Dharma every day, every moment. Then in the evening, so before you go to bed, also you do your Dharma practice. Most importantly, you do the dedication prayers. Dedicate all the positive action you have accumulated during the daytime. So dedicate the merit for becoming Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Dedicate the merit to benefit all sentient beings. Then you can have a sleep with the positive mental altitude. Therefore, number 1, please everybody study Dharma. Doesn't matter which tradition you follow, still you need to study. Second, not only study, you must practice. Practice every day, every moment. Not only morning, not afternoon, not evening, not summer, not winter. Please practice Dharma every day, every moment. So, next question, why we need to practice Dharma? Why? Why I need to follow Dharma? Why we need to practice Dharma? First, you have a 100% freedom. You are totally free to be to follow religion or not follow religion. It's up to you. You have a right to choice. You can follow religion or you can be very free thinker. Up to you. If you wish to follow, religion, then the question here, so which religion I should follow? So on the planets in this world, we have many different kinds of religion. The oldest one, Hinduism, then Buddhism, then Jewish and Christianity, then Islam, and in the Chinese tradition, there's a Taoism. So there are so many kinds of religion. So you need to study, bit all religion. So we were born as a Buddhist family. Due to that reason, we follow Buddhism. This is not the right way. You must study bit of all kinds of religion. Then you study, then you think which religion is more stable for me. If you feel Hinduism is very stable for me, then you practice Hinduism seriously. Try to be good Hindu and good happy Hindu. If you feel, the Christianity is very stable for me, then it's perfectly okay to follow Christianity. Try to be good Christian, happy and healthy Christian. If you feel the Islam is very stable for me, it's perfectly okay. You can follow Islam. Try to be good Muslim and happy Muslim. If you feel, I was born in the Buddhist family, my parents are Buddhists, my ancestors were Buddhists, for me Buddhism is more stable. Then you follow Buddhism, practice the Buddhism, try to be good Buddhist, happy Buddhist. So, so you need to study bit of all religion, then you need to select which religion is more stable for you. Right now, this class is more about Buddhism. So within the Buddhism, so we have mainly two kinds of two level of practice. Only two. Please, everybody, listen very carefully. This Dharma class must be very precise, very detailed. So I won't repeat, again and again. At the beginning, historically, when you study about Buddhism, there's a two concept or two level of, Buddhism. Once we named Theravada, second we named Mahayana. Or we have another term, we can say, Sanskrit tradition and Pali tradition. The people who follow Buddhism in like Tibet, China, Japan, also Korea, Mongolia, Russia, or part of Vietnam, those we consider to follow the Mahayana Buddhist tradition or Sanskrit tradition. They follow the Sanskrit and follow the Mahayana tradition. Second, the people who practice Buddhism in Sri Lanka, Thailand, Burma, Cambodia, Laos, part of Vietnam, those consider to follow the Pali tradition and Theravada tradition. So at the beginning, please everybody keep in your mind, all Buddhist practice, all Buddha teaching, we can divide into only two categories, Mahayana and Theravada, or Sanskrit and Pali tradition. Okay, this is kind of very important. You keep in your mind. There's two types of or two kinds of teaching and practice. So also these two teaching, you should not think there's a not interconnection. There's no interconnected. There's a very link. So the people who practice the Mahayana tradition, who follow the Bodhisattva path, he or she must practice the Theravada teaching. All the Theravada teachings, all the Theravada practices is a foundation, is a very important foundation. Without having, the Theravada practices, you cannot practice the Mahayana practice. Therefore, there's a link. All the Theravada practice and teaching are very solid foundation to practice the Mahayana. If you have a question, please keep a note. At the end, we will have a question and answer. Clear? There's two types of teachings, two types of practice, two levels of, practice. Second, so why I need to practice the Theravada? Why I need to practice, Mahayana teaching? Why? It's up to you. If you are very, simple, you want to be very simple practitioner. You want to be only happy in this life, want to be happy next life. Then you mainly follow very simple Buddhist teaching. You no need to practice bodhichitta, emptiness, 6 perfections. Try to be honest. Avoid, the 10 non-virtues. Then you can be happy in this life. You can be happy in next life. You can have a happy life. If you not just want to be happy in samsara, I want to be free from suffering. Free from suffering. I say free from suffering and cause of suffering. Only then you must practice the Theravada tradition. Correct? If you wish to be free from suffering and cause of suffering, mainly free from suffering, cause of suffering, then you follow the Theravada tradition. You are not just wish to be free from suffering and cause of suffering. You wish to be, fully enlightened being. Then, third, you need to practice the Mahayana or Bodhisattva path. Therefore, in the Lamrim at the beginning, taught like three beings, three paths. Also, some of you very new about the Lamrim. Historically, the name, the Lamrim, started by Adisha Dibamkara Shri Gyan. So Adisha was born in Bengal. This day you can call, Bangladesh. Then he came to Bodh Gaya. That time there were many monasteries around the Bodh Gaya. So he became one of the most important masters. And that moment, he always have a question. He always had a question: how I can be Buddha very fast and a swift way? How I can be Buddha very quick way? So the answered by, many Buddhas, say practice bodhichitta. Then he was looking, the instruction, how I can practice bodhichitta. Who is the most important teacher who can teach me how to practice bodhichitta? And that time, then he noticed there was a master. There was a master named, there's a Tibetan we can call Selingpa or Selendrapa. Serlingpa, Tibetan we name Serlingpa. I think traditionally is a Selendrapa. The Lama Serlingpa was born in Indonesia, part of the Sumatra. I think around the Muara Jambi, Muara Jambi. Therefore, Adisha went to see to Lama Serlingpa to receive the teaching, instruction, how to practice bodhichitta. So he was 12 years in the around the Sumatra to receive all the lineages, all the teaching about how to practice bodhichitta, about bodhichitta. Then he came back to, he go back to India. He became very important about the all monasteries. Then somehow, due to the different reason, he need to go to Tibet. So while he was in Tibet, then Lama Adisha composed, the name, the Lamrim, all the Buddha teaching, all the essence of the Buddha teaching put together into practice, named Lamrim. Lamrim. Since, we have the term Lamrim, also all the Buddha teaching, doesn't matter teaching about the Theravada, teaching about bodhichitta, the teaching about Vajrayana, all the Buddha teachings are Lamrim. Lamrim. Lam and Rim. Lam means the path. Path. How to go, how to move to the Buddha enlightened state. Lam. Rim is the order or sequence. So, in order to become a Buddha, you have to move step by step, step by step. In order to free from suffering and cause of suffering, also there's a serious steps. You have to move step by step. Therefore, in the Lamrim, the term started from Adisha. Since in Tibet we have a Lamrim in all four traditions. We have a Nyingmapa Lamrim, Kagyu Lamrim, Sakya Lamrim Lamre, and then Gelupa Lamrim. Actually, the Lamrim is start from Adisha. Therefore, all the Buddha teachings are Lamrim. Here, Lam means path, Rim means sequence or order, Lamrim. So you have to move step by steps. So you wish to be be in this life and next life, then you just take refuge into Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and avoid the 10 non-virtues. Always practice the 10 virtues. Then you can be happy this life. You can have a happy life in the next life. So if you wish to merely free from suffering, free from cause of suffering, then you follow, the Theravada tradition, the Pali tradition. So when you think about, what kind of practice we need to practice in order to free from suffering, it's very simple. I put it very simple way. In order to free from suffering, first we need to be free from cause of sufferings, ignorance, anger, attachment. These three minds is a root, is the cause, root of the samsara. So in order to overcome, in order to eliminate ignorance, you need to practice wisdom. Wisdom. In order to overcome, in order to free from suffering, second step you need the renunciation. Renunciation. Wisdom. If you practice only renunciation and wisdom based on taking refuge, then you can be free from suffering. You can be free from cause of suffering. Therefore, renunciation and wisdom, no bodhichitta. Third, if you wish to be Buddha, wish to achieve enlightened state, then number one, the renunciation, number two, wisdom, number three, bodhichitta. Clear? That means three paths, three achievements. So, until now, so many of us, we follow Buddhism, we practice Dharma. We are not very particular about which practice we have been practicing. We are not really particular. Therefore, we should not just only believe in Dharma. We have to be very particular. We have to be very serious. So, want to be, wish to be free from suffering or cause of suffering, or wish to be Buddha. Have to be very clear. Or just merely want to be free from the lower realms, or just want to be happy in this life and next life, then you no need to worry about the renunciation, bodhicitta, emptiness. Therefore, at the beginning, all Buddhist practices we put into two categories: practice of Theravada tradition, practice of Mahayana traditions. When you actually practice the path, practice the Dharma, you can have three kinds of practice. One practice merely only to happy in samsara, this life and next life. The second practice for free from suffering, free from cause of suffering, merely like a cessation, achieving cessation. Third one, not only free from suffering and cause of suffering, wish to be Buddha. Then you need to practice bodhicitta. That means you must be very clear based on the Lamrim, practice of the small scope, practice of the middle scope, practice of the great scope. That means there's three kinds of practitioner, then there are three kinds of practices. So you have to be very clear, we have to be very sure at the beginning which path, which Dharma you must practice. So at the beginning I explained, when we should practice Dharma, how long we should practice Dharma. So we have to practice Dharma until we become a Buddha. When? how long, what kind of practice I need to practice. Next, so now you have a quite clear idea. Number one, when we need to practice, how long, what kind of practice I should practice every day. Right? 3 at the beginning must very clear. Number one, when should I practice Dharma? The answer is, we must practice Dharma every day, every moment. When you are happy, don't forget to practice Dharma. When you are unhappy, upset, please don't forget to practice Dharma. Then, how long? How long we should practice Dharma? We should practice Dharma until we become a Buddha. Why we have to become a Buddha? Why you wish to become Buddha? In order to benefit all sentient beings. Then, what kind of practice? How I can practice Dharma? How? I told you, first you must study. You must study the Dharma. Not only study, the knowledge you got through your study, you must apply. So therefore, how we should study Dharma? First study Dharma, then practice. Practice every day, every moment. Practice until you are fully free from suffering and cause of suffering, until you fully become enlightened being. How long? How? When? So what kind of practice? There are 3 kinds of practice. Another important here, as a beginner, who are beginner, all the Buddha teachings, all the practices, is very simple way we can put into only 3 practices, another categories. Practice of ethical discipline, morality, then practice of concentration, practice of wisdom. If you follow, seriously follow Buddhism, if you consider yourself, I'm a Buddhist, first, every day we must practice ethical discipline. Always try to be disciplined, physically, mentally. Ethical discipline. When you are a very ethical person, you always try to be disciplined, physically, mentally. Then almost you can control the negative thoughts. When you get angry, if you say so many bad things, that means you are not controlling your words. You are not controlling your speech. Right? When you get angry, control your anger, and stop to say bad things. Therefore, first, ethical discipline, morality, ethics is the foundation. Once you are quite good in ethical discipline, if you are able to control your physical action, mental or verbal action, able to control, then for you, very easy to practice meditation. It is very easy to have a concentration. Everybody has a problem. When we try to do meditation, we cannot we cannot meditate on something because our mind is very undisciplined. Our mind is very wild. Therefore, in order to do meditation, in order to do the practice of concentration, first you need to practice ethical discipline, then concentration. When your mind has become quite focused, you're able to focus, quite good way, then for you very easy to have a wisdom. Because, for example, if you have a clear pot, clear container, when you add water must be very clear. you are not ethical person, you don't have a good ethical discipline, then there's no way you can have a good concentration. That means you have a clear pot, but the water is always moving in the pot. You cannot see the reflection very clearly. Therefore, first, we need good ethical discipline. Second, we need concentration, mindfulness. When your mind is quite focused, quite able to mindful, then for you very easy to see the truth, see the reality. When you see the reality, then for us very easy to control, easy to eliminate all the negative thoughts. Therefore, all the Buddha teaching taught only three practices: ethical discipline, concentration, wisdom. Therefore, all the Buddha teaching we can include into three baskets, Tripitaka. So as a Buddhist, we have only three practices: practice of morality, practice of concentration, practice of wisdom. All the practices, renunciation, bodhichitta, six perfect, all the practices we must include into three practices. So this is a kind of introduction about why we need to practice Dharma, how we should practice Dharma, how long we should practice Dharma, how we can move step by step. The next class, next study, then I will explain more about the Theravada practices and Mahayana practice. Then we start the book number 2, mainly about bodhichitta. Okay, right now we have a time for questioning and answer. Please, everybody, feel free. You can ask any question. Please don't feel shy. Feel free, ask question. Question from you, or question from your friends, or question from your children, your relatives. Also most welcome. Okay. Hello everybody, any question? Hello? Hello?
You can unmute your mic to ask any question, or you can actually type your question on the chat.
Yes?
Sheila, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, I can hear.
For the ethical disciplines, right, which is the, because concentrations, we should always have a very good foundation on the ethical discipline first, right? So for beginners like me, which aspect of the ethical discipline should I start with? And normally, how long then you'll be able to practice of this aspect of ethical disciplines, then you will have good concentration. Because you are saying that this is a step-by-step thing, I cannot jump step. But on the ethical discipline, there's quite a broad category. So which aspect should I start with? Thank you, Sheila.
Okay, so for example, in our Buddhist tradition, so we have a tradition, so we have a kind of, rules or regulation to take a vows. So it's very important. If you are, if you are a simple lay person, you can take, the lay person vows. So when you take the lay person vows, there are mainly, I think, 5 or 7 precepts. The first 4 must. So let's say, I'm not killing any sentient beings. I'm not doing any kind of, sexual misconduct. I'm not lying, anything about. I'm not stealing anything from, anybody. If you have this kind of, commitments, that means you almost start to reduce the hatred, anger, attachment, and desire. Then you become quite ethical person. You are very honest. You're not killing any sentient beings. You're not stealing. You're not lying. Then you become quite. You are become very ethical person. That means you can see anger, attachment, desire, hatred, almost you control. So first, you maintained the commitments very seriously. Then second, you do the meditation. You enter into the meditation state or concentration state. While you are trying to practice the meditation or concentration, still you need to practice, you need to maintain the ethical discipline. So therefore, first, let's say 3 months. First 3 months, you always very careful, always maintain the pure vows. You always maintain the, your commitments for 3 months. Make sure you are not against your vows. Then after 3 months, when you do the concentration, meditation, I think it become a lot easier for you. Yes. Second, when you move the second step, you never forget the first step. First step, second step together. When you move to third steps, also please don't forget the first 2 steps. Be ethical all the time, always very mindful, and try to understand, try to realize the emptiness. It is same thing, when you practice the small scope path. Second, you move to second step, you don't forget the first step. It's combined together. When you move to the third steps, the Bodhisattva steps, also you don't forget the practice of the small scope path and the middle scope paths. You must combine together. Therefore, for you very simply, first let's say 3 months, very careful about your ethical discipline. Try to be a very ethical person. Second, then you more focus about concentration, but don't forget ethical discipline. Yes, this is my answer for you.
Thank you, Geshe La.
Oh, most welcome. Yeah.
Will you consider to have a beginner class for meditation? Because I find that meditation, if nobody guide you, is quite difficult. You don't know how to do it properly. So I hope when you have time, you can consider. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, let me think about. Definitely we will have a class for meditation. Okay, thank you. Any question?
Geshe-la, there is a question on the chat room. Maybe I can read the question.
Okay.
So it's from Tianjin Cho Yang. So when helping others, a lot of time is used up a lot. How to strike a balance between own practice and helping others?
Okay, so also this is also a very important question. I think many people has a same problems. Therefore, Buddha said, let's say based on the Mahayana practice, we have to be very compassionate. We must most care other than ourselves. So always wish to help others. As a beginner, as a beginner, fully wish to help other, not go the practical level, not practical way, wish to help others. Doesn't matter who you are going to help. Wish to help, wish to benefit, not really go in the practical level, because you are very beginner of practice of compassion. When your mind is become very stable, your mind become more strong. Your compassion, your tolerance, your love become very stable, very strong enough. Then slowly you go into practical level. At the beginning you should not. Therefore, what Buddha said, the new sprout, it just grow up, just come out from the ground. If somebody step on it, the new sprout going to die very fast. And we are in the 21st century. We are surrounded by very lot of difficult person, lot of difficult people. So when you try to help others, the people don't understand you. The people not happy with you. The people not happy what you are sharing. You are sharing food, clothes, money, whatever you are sharing. They are not happy about you are sharing. Then the people get angry, upset. Then you're going to, you're going to destroy your compassion. Therefore, at the beginning, you just wish to help other, wish to, help, support other. Should not do so many things seriously until you have the stable, strong compassion, love, and tolerance. Therefore, at the beginning, you do more, the wishing level. Second, you can move into the practical level. At the beginning, you should not. Any question?
Yes, Geshe, there's another question from Ang Bihua. Geshe, may I ask, during mandala offering, is it fine for us to recite names in English?
Can you repeat one more?
May I ask, during mandala offering, is it fine for us to recite names in English?
The answer is very simple way. It's perfectly okay. You can recite the name in English, Chinese, Tibetan, or Malay, whatever language you are use. So words, the language are not important. The most important, you need the proper, first beginning, you really need the proper motivation. Clear? Proper motivation. Second, you need to know how to do the mandal offering. First, motivation very important. Second, you need to know how to do the proper way. Proper way. Third, after you finish, mandal offering, whatever, please don't forget to do the dedication prayers. Absolutely okay. You can recite the name, you can recite the chanting in English, Chinese, Malay, whatever language you use. For example, Buddha lifetime in India, all the follower, they use Pali and Sanskrit. No English, no Chinese, no Tibetan, no Hindi, no Sri Lankan, no Thai, no Burmese. Then when Buddhism go to different country, different people use different language. It's absolutely okay, you can use different language, you can follow different culture, this is not the matter. It's absolutely okay. Any question?
Yes, Geshe, there's another one. It's from Steph To. Geshe, what is the difference of ethical discipline versus 6 paramita?
6?
Paramita.
Oh, 6 parameters. Oh, yeah. So 6 perfection or 6 paramita. First is ethical discipline. Then there's another 5, right? Therefore, ethical discipline is the first perfection. Then there's first perfection. The rest of the perfection of generosity, patience, so and so are, there's a big difference. Yeah, the first ethical discipline include into the first perfection. First perfection. Also 6 paramita, 6 paranya paramita are different. All the practitioners who merely follow the Theravada practices, they practice the 6 perfection, not 6 prajna paramita. So therefore, simple way, ethical discipline is the first perfection. The rest of it is different from the ethical discipline and the first perfection. Next question.
Okay, we have a question from Lamrim Chenmo.
Mm-hmm.
Is Pali under Theravada traditional is in conflict with Mahayana tradition?
Definitely no. There's no conflicts between Theravada and Mahayana tradition. Because for example, many people in Singapore, they live in the, condo, they live in the high buildings. So you need to use, all the levels when you reach to, your home, your house, your room. In order to reach to the 4th level, you need to go to 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 1st. You need to go step by step. There's no contradiction between Theravada and Mahayana practice. There's no contradiction between Theravada and Mahayana tradition. All the Theravada practices are the very important foundation. The person who practice the Mahayana, the person who practice, the Lamrim. The Lamrim has 3 Lamrim. Remember, the Lamrim for small scope, the Lamrim for middle scope, the Lamrim for great scope. The person who practice bodhichitta, they need to practice. He or she must practice renunciation, must practice the 4 noble truths, must practice the dwelling interdependence. Therefore, the Theravada practices is the foundation, very important practice to follow the Bodhisattva path. There's no, conflicts. Also, which is good to, ask this question, because many people think, oh, I follow Theravada tradition, I no need to follow the Mahayana tradition. It's wrong. Many people think, oh, I follow the Mahayana practice, Mahayana tradition, I no need to practice Theravada. Is wrong. So therefore, next when we study Lamrim, so we will go more precisely. Mm-hmm.
We have a next question from Anjali.
Okay.
How does it impact a person if they are ethical practitioner personally, but they are part of a corporate or an organization, maybe which is actually corrupted?
I think right now we are living in the 21st century. In Buddhist tradition, we name degenerate time, the degenerate of the timing, the degenerate of the Dharma. It is, in a one way, it's so difficult to be very ethical, very pure ethical person. It's not easy to be very ethic, because you want to be very honest. If you're very honest, you cannot be fit in the society. You cannot fit in the like human society. Therefore, if you work in the society, we work in the company or corporate where you are, sometimes there's no choice. you have to be with the corrupted people. You have to support, you have to involve, no choice. This question, the one time I remember raised during the His Holiness teaching in Dharamsala. They say, I don't want to be corrupted, don't want to corrupt, but I have to go with the group of people who corrupted. The His Holiness say, if you don't go, you're going to lose your job. Right? Job. So this moment, another related to the question, job is very important. Particularly the people who live in Singapore, job is very, very important. No job, no money, no life in Singapore. It's very important you have a job. You save the job. Sometimes you know your job is not the right or no good job. There's a lot of unethical going around. That moment you just don't worry about the Dharma. You just do your work. In the evening, after you came back your home, you do the proper confession, proper Dharma practice. Eliminate, purify all the negative actions. If there's an option not to be corrupted, then you should not. If there's no option, then it's okay. I say it's okay because there's no choice. Yes?
Geshe La,
Mm-hmm.
in regards with ethical discipline, what shall we do if there are lots of bugs in the rice and the bugs are cute when we are trying to separate them from the rice? Something like ants. How if there's a lot of ants and we kill them?
Okay, killing the insect, kind of part of the killing actions. I think everybody use the common sense. Compared with other countries, Singapore is very clean. Still, you can have a less flower, less insect around your house, in your bathroom. First, you have to be very careful. Your food don't throw it everywhere. Once, when you need to clean your bathroom or your toilet, your house, you can see a lot of ants coming around. First, you use dry kind of clothes, and just remove. Make sure not killing. Don't kill any. Just move very softly. After you move, then you can use certain kind of chemical to prevent them. So while you are cleaning your room, your bathroom and toilet, you can see something accidentally you killed, insect, you kill other beings, but you kill, we must accept you killed, but you didn't kill with the, bad motivation. I'm not consider you accumulate negative karma. There's no motivation, the beings killed by accidentally. If you kill with the, bad motivation, then even though you kill an insect, an ant, you accumulate negative karma. Without motivation, without intention, if you kill, some insect, I'm not considered to accumulate negative karma. Therefore, at the beginning, you have to be very careful. You should not throw, sweet thing around your bathroom and toilet. You always clean. When you need to clean, you must clean. You should not say, oh, I'm Buddhist, I'm very compassionate, all insects come in. You cannot. So I'm not consider you accumulating negative karma because you don't have a intention, you don't have a motivation. Next question, please.
Yes, Geshe La, we have another question. How did Lama Tsong-kha-pa got his inspiration to write the Lamrim? Where did he got this vision from?
Can you repeat again?
How did Lama Tsong-kha-pa got his inspiration to write the Lamrim? Where did Lama Tsong-kha-pa got this vision from?
Okay, this one, I think the best one, I think we have new book, Biography of Lama Tsong-kha-pa, written by Thubten Jimba. Definitely you can get the soft copy if you pay. If you cannot, you can get the hard copy. First you read the biography of the Lama Tsong-kha-pa. So related to your question, at the Buddha lifetime, Buddha asked to the Mugalyana, asked Mugalyana, go to Tibet, hide some holy object in Tibet. Also Buddha Shakyamuni also very clearly said, after 600 years, after 600 I think he passed away. He didn't say exactly, after I pass away, there one person born in the Sino land, name of the Lobsang Trakpa actually, Lobsang. That means Buddha Shakyamuni already told to the disciple in the future, there must be a master will come, name of the Lobsang. That means Lobsang Trakpa. When you study, honestly about the Tibetan history, during the Lama Tsong-kha-pa time, many Tibetans follow Tantrayana practice. They totally ignore, the Vinayana practice. They totally ignore, the Sudrayana practice. They say, I follow the Tantrayana. They don't care about bodhichitta, renunciation, so ethical discipline. So mainly Lama Tsong-kha-pa came to Tibet. There's, I think, two reasons, mainly two purposes. The purpose number one, he really want to introduce the so-called pure view of emptiness. Clear? Mainly number one, he came to Tibet in order to introduce the unmistaking view of emptiness. Second reason, he born in Tibet in order to purify the lot of misunderstanding about Vajrayana, particularly misunderstanding about the higher Tantrayana. So Lamrim he composed mainly in order to put all the practices, purify all the misunderstanding. Therefore, he got a lot of inspiration by Manjushri. Also, I think, also other masters asked and request him to write a Lamrim. So you can see at end of the Lamrim, they mention the name who request him to compose Lamrim. Therefore, mainly Lama Tsong-kha-pa has two purposes to born in Tibet. First, introduce the pure view of emptiness. Second, in order to purify the misunderstanding about the Vajrayana, particularly the higher Tantrayana. Yes, next question.
The next question is from Xingling. In order to keep the first 4 vows of layman vow, does it mean I have to be a vegetarian?
Okay. Actually, taking non-veg food, killing living beings is totally two separate actions. If you has taken the layperson vows, still you are taking non-veg food, is okay. You don't have to be vegetarian. If you could, please everybody try to be vegetarian. It's good for your health. It's good for you. We harm less, animal. Try to be vegetarian. You don't have to. Also, I think many of you have seen Tibetan monks and nuns in India also Tibet, also Bhutan, Nepal. Also you have seen many monks and nuns in China and Taiwan. When you go in China and Taiwan, all the monks and nuns must be very pure vegetarian. I really, admire them. I really appreciate them to be vegetarian. When you go to Tibet in India and Nepal, you can see many monks and nuns, they are not, vegetarian. They are taking non-veg. Also, there in the past, historically in Tibet, they have to take the non-veg food because vegetable is not, available not easy to available. Second, they live in the high altitude. They need certain food to keep, the healthy physical body. Therefore, historically, if you follow the Buddhist tradition, there's not such as you have to be vegetarian, you have to be non-vegetarian. There's not such as monks and nuns. If you could try to be vegetarian is good. If you has taken the lay person vows, still for me, I can say it's okay to take the non-veg food. Yes, next question.
Relating back to the same question, to be a vegetarian to develop bodhichitta.
Okay, again, many the Mahayana teaching also mention if you practice great compassion bodhicitta, you look like you should be a vegetarian. Also, many Mahayana teaching also mention, if you are full ordained monks, your food is dependent on other. Whatever other people serve you must accept. If you don't want to eat, meat, you just throw away the meat, you eat the rest of the food. There's no contradiction to be Mahayana practitioner and taking the non-veg food. Also, it's very careful, I think it's very important to tell you, within the Mahayana, there's two kinds of practice. Sutra Mahayana and Tantra Mahayana, right? Sutra and Tantra. If you follow the Tantra Mahayana, higher Tantrayana, there's so many different words to say, take, meat, drink like blood, so and so. Those things you must know the actual meaning. Actual meaning, what does mean the meat? What does mean the blood? What does mean bone? What does mean white bodhicitta, red bodhicitta? Therefore, these things I will explain in the next, end of the Lamrim. There's no contradiction to be a Mahayana practitioner and to be non-veg, kind of, taking the non-veg food. Yes. Next.
Okay, Sheila, we have another question.
Mm-hmm.
If a person have Parkinson or dementia, how do we practice ethical practice and be disciplined?
Dementia, right?
Yes.
So no good memory, is it? Dementia means no good memory, right? Yeah. Actually, somehow, I don't know the reason. I think many of my, our Dharma brother and sister, their memory is quite weak. I don't know why, and I don't know. Therefore, right now, so many of you are very young. You can remember so many things easily. Slowly, when we are getting older, our memory become more weak. We cannot remember everything easily. It takes long time to remember things. Particularly, you cannot remember your practice very easily. Therefore, while you are very young, you really need to learn how to put all practices in simple way, in the short way. Then slowly when you are getting older, then for you very easy to understand all the practices within short time in very easy way. Therefore you need to put all the practices in a very simple way, in the short way. Then when you are getting older and older, so you cannot do all the practices. Right now some of you are doing so many different sadhanas, maybe 4 or 5 different sadhanas. When you are getting old, when you are 80 or 90 years old, I don't think you can do all the sadhana, the varvali. Therefore you need to learn all the sadhana based on the visualization, not verbal way. You cannot do the varvali because you are too old. Then, most importantly, always try to have a positive mind, positive mental attitude. If you are able to maintain your positive mental attitude, positive minds, when you are very old, even though before you are dying, before you are dead, if you have the positive mental attitude, then definitely in next life, you can have a happy and healthy life. So in order to have the good kind of memory, so usually everybody, every morning, you can recite the Manjushri mantra, Om Arabhajana Di. Visualize the Manjushri. They recite the mantra for maybe 100 times. Then at the end, you just imagine the Manjushri with the wisdom sword, dissolve into you. And imagine all the ignorance, the forgetfulness is eliminated. So it's good to recite the Manjushri mantra. If you have a very weak memory, put all the practice very simple way, in short way, then you can remember quite easily. Okay, next question, the last question.
How do we take layperson vow? How to take through in our daily prayers?
Generally, we have 3 kinds of vows: Pratimokkha vows, Bodhisattva vows, and Tantrayana vows. The Pratimokkha vows include the layperson vows. You must receive from any of your teacher or guru or master. This is, you must receive from the person to person. Then the Bodhisattva vows, the Tantrayana vows, you can receive in form of the Buddha statue, in form of the holy object, in form of the like Buddha painting or pictures. First, the layperson vows, all the Pratimokkha vows, you must receive from your teacher, your guru, or any of sanghas. Then next, Bodhisattva and Tantrayana vows, you can receive from in front of the Buddha statue, painting, photo, or based on visualization. Next question. No more, right?
Last question. Geshe, can you share more about next week? Will you be teaching which part of volume 2 of Lamrim?
I think it's better to start, the first chapter from the book number 2. So I'll start from beginning. So before that, I will explain shortly differences between Theravada and Mahayana, little bit about 4 Noble Truths, then 12 links interdependence, and 2 truths, then enter into the book number 2, chapter number 1. Okay, and thank you so much, all of you, to attend the class through the online. Please feel free, if you feel tired, you can move around, or you can drink tea, coffee. I will see how many people attends. Okay, right now. Oh, okay.
Please turn on your video.
Yeah. First, I can see the forum beginning.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Yeah.
We have a total of 74
Yong Weaving,
participants.
then we can say Anjali, there's a Kiran Chan, there's a Candy Pen, there's a Si Chu Lim, then Jefferson and Yangzom, then Ilan, oh, happy to see you.
Thank you.
Then I can see Quinji, there's a Karen Dutton, then Kong Ling,
Thank you,
hello,
Geshe.
then Tibetan Buddhist Center, then Lee Chao Tan, Lobsang Yonten. Okay, everybody, then see you next study. Okay, and yeah. So please,
Thank you, Geshe.
okay, please don't be very panic. Okay, don't be too worried. And also, right now, you are receiving so many news and articles or about the COVID. You don't need to read all the news. In the past, everybody looked like play with the stock market. Right now, everybody look like play with the COVID market, or how many number go up, how many number go down. You don't read all the news. Okay, last we do the dedication prayers. It's page number 5, first, second, third, the fourth sentence. May the supreme bodhichitta that has not arisen, arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase forevermore. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization of the deeds and the prayers of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 3 times, and to the all-important Dharma for the teaching of realization. May I in all live through the force of the merit, never separated from the four-wheel Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect view, and the 2 stages. Okay, so we thought we reciting chanting, so please everybody just imagine you are dedicating the merit for becoming Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Dedicate the merit to benefit all sentient beings, particularly the people, the family who are facing the COVID-19 problems. And really, we everybody pray to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to end very soon the COVID-19 problems. Okay, thank you and see you next Saturday.